It's official, he's no longer the MP for Te Tai Tokerau, but he's still the leader of the Mana movement. Joining me now is Hone Harawira. Tēnā koe.
Kia ora.
Thanks for joining us this morning. You've just declared on Q&A that you're going to be running again in 2017. Was that ever in question for you?
Oh, you know, life's an evolving thing, so you never know what's going to be happening, but, you know, certainly the passion from the membership is probably at a higher level than it has been quite some time, so they're really happy to have me out. Certainly the folks from up home are keen to get their MP back. But all around the country, Mana's really, really bubbling. So you couldn't say no. If you said no, you probably wouldn't be able to get here. You'd be in hospital. There
must have been a point, though, where you thought, well, that's it. Election night would have been a rough one for you.
No, actually, surprisingly not. I was lucky because I had my whānau there. I had my mokopunas there. They were draped all over me. They always balanced me out.
But still, you looked unhappy.
Actually, I didn't really feel that unhappy. I mean, I was asked to concede. I said, I don't concede, it's not in my nature. And in fact, one of the good things about not conceding, for those of you in politics, is if you concede on the night, all your travel benefits stop at 12 o'clock. if you don't, you get to fly around the country and go and see all your people for the next 2 weeks.
Seriously? That's why you didn't concede?
No, that's not why I didn't. I don't, because I just never give up. But when I found out the next day that I had those travel benefits ongoing, I thought, right, bang, Auckland, Hamilton, Rotorua, Gisborne, all around the country.
OK, so what does the future hold for the Mana movement? I mean, is there still life for it?
Oh, absolutely. As long as we have the levels of poverty that we have right now, and never before in the history of this country has so much poverty been imposed on so many people, not just Māori either, in such a short time as
what are you going to do?
As they have done in the last 6 years. So,
is Mana better as a political force, or perhaps more as a life, if you like, force?
Mana is a movement. It's never been a political party, and I'm grateful for us maintaining faith with that, because it's important that we're strong outside Parliament anyway. Even as an MP, it's important for me to have known that the membership was strong, and to see the way they are now really gives me hope for the things we have to do. It's going to be tough, but I mean, people at the bottom, you know, our kids are starving. We've got thousands of families are homeless right now.
So Mana will continue.
Life can never be as tough for me as it is for
You'll fight for the same principles.
Sure, absolutely.
Will .com be in that picture?
I've had a chat with him since the election, and we've asked him, not so much for the money side of things, but to be involved in these internet camps that we're hoping to host around the country, starting in the north, because we think that the internet, a bit like those boys we've just seen who have become pilots, we need to find out the way of the future. We need to get our kids engaged in that.
And
we need their families to understand
has been key to getting Māori.
He's a magnetic personality, and he knows more about the internet than anybody I have ever met in my whole life.
But you'll keep him restricted to the internet part of the Mana movement, because clearly the election results showed that, and even .com said that he was not good for that campaign. Sure,
there's a difference between what he does know and electoral campaigning. I think, in hindsight, his presence during the campaign could have been managed better. But, you know, the way he talks to our people, the way he engages with young people, I think is a real positive thing. And I'd like to see that, where his engagement with our rangatahi, turning them on to the internet, us doing our best to improve access to the internet in rural communities.
And would one of the keys be for you, do you think, to realign yourself with the Māori Party?
That's another option. Actually, it's not another option. It's an option I first opened in 2011 and came back in.
So what would you say to Te Ururoa Flavel right now?
I'd say to Te Ururoa Flavel that the principle of kotahitanga, which is something I said way back in 2011, the principle of kotahitanga, of unity within Māoridom, is more important than me as the leader of Mana and him as the leader of the Māori Party.
OK, so you could work with Te Ururoa.
I would be quite happy to step down as the leader of Mana, if he stood down as the leader of the Māori Party, and let the people determine how best to bring those two bodies together. That's the importance of kotahitanga.
So that's your wero, that's your challenge today?
Well, it's something I've said for the last few years. It's been turned down and consistently.
Let's just be clear. The wero is, Te Ururoa, you stand down, I'll stand down, we'll let the people decide.
I don't want that to be the reason why he says no. So there are a number of options. I'm more than happy to discuss whatever they might be. I really think it's probably best if Tūroro and I stay out of those discussions in the early part and let the rest of Mana and the rest of the Māori Party talk about it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but let it not be because he didn't try.
What's your advice to Kelvin Davis and his now electorate?
Oh, it'll always be my electorate, first of all. I mean, Calvin's now the MP, and I wish him well. I wish him well. It's a challenging and vibrant electorate, probably the best electorate in the country, with the most vivacious and treacherous and demanding and, you know, sort of people with high expectations of you as an MP. I just wish him well in what he has to do. I wish him peace with himself. I think sometimes he comes across as overly angry, and the people up home, they just like to know.
Let's just say you do too, but we have to leave it there, I'm afraid. Thank you so much for your time with us.
Okay.
It's lovely to have you here. And we've got some rangatahi now sitting on the couch with Scotty.